Hey guys, long time no see, I know, but the end of the school year is really kicking my butt. So that's why I haven't heard from you in a while, but good news is that I'm going to try to have something for the next couple of weeks. That is, if I can get a bunch of videos filmed today, because I just checked and I've read 91 books so far this year, so I have things that I could talk about, one or two maybe, you know. So today I'm going to talk about whether or not an audiobook can make or break a book. And in particular, I'm having this kind of reverse reaction, right? Where I've definitely had it happen before where an audiobook has made me not like a book and I've gone, oh, I'm just going to have to read the print thing. But 9 times out of 10, I've really liked the audiobook or I've really liked the print book. With some of these for school, I've been doing both. Hasn't really occurred to me that I might like a book that I would not have liked in print if I'd listened to the audiobook. And the reason that I bring this up is this, The Doubt Factory by Paulo Bacigalupi. And I have heard a lot about Paulo Bacigalupi. So when I heard that we were reading this for class, I was really excited. I hadn't read anything of his before. This is kind of a controversial book from him. The main character is a girl named Alex, and her dad works for a PR firm. And, you know, she's rich, she's unassuming, and all of a sudden these things start happening that make her realize that maybe her father, who works for all these really big corporations, doesn't do so much as PR as he does cover up for some really bad things for these companies. And there's this boy named Moses who she has a romance with, but also kidnaps her, so it is real weird there. And now already you're starting to see, oh boy. But here's the thing about the audiobook for this. The audiobook for this, I couldn't stop listening to it. I couldn't stop listening to it. And I mean that I was in my car, I was at night, I was coloring. I have to know what happens next. I have to know what happens next. And I was just like really, really into it. I don't even know how to explain it. It was compulsive. I needed to keep reading. And I've definitely had that reaction with print books before, for sure. And the problem with the reason I had the audiobook is that in the library system that I was using, there were no ebook copies. There was just the audiobook. So I was just listening to it. And I kept getting really, really upset because the audiobook wasn't moving as fast as I wanted it to. And that doesn't mean that I could just like put the speed up and get through it faster. Like I wanted the physical book in my hand and I wanted to be able to, like, you know, do this. And so I got this from Barnes & Noble and I bought it and I came back and I finished it. And as I was finishing the book, I kind of started to have this feeling of like, this seems weird. Like I was having such a different reading experience. And then I went online and I looked up different reviews of this book. And this is something that I rarely ever do before making a review of my own, or, you know, I definitely don't look at them before I read books necessarily, because I really want to go in and form my own opinion. And all of these reviews, there were some of them that were really, really positive, but a lot of them were middling to negative about it. And they mentioned several things, like the fact that the main character is really annoying, the fact that the romance is creepy and stalker-y, and that the book is really, really preachy. And usually for me, what I had thought was that these kinds of flaws with the audiobook go so much slower, and the fact that I can't skim, because I do read really fast, and how I do that is I skim sometimes, that these kinds of defects would come out to me more strongly in audiobooks, and that has been the case for every audiobook that I've listened to up until this point. And all of a sudden I went, oh my god, I don't like this main character, I don't like this romance, the way that this plot is written about is kind of weird. And so then I was just left sitting there with this like overwhelming reading vigor for this book for a plot that I didn't really like. The thing about Paulo Bacigalupi is that he's really, really good at suspenseful writing, and he is a really, really good writer. And I think that that definitely was the base of this book and also played a really big role into what I was finding. But I also feel that there is a lot to be said for the audiobook narrator for this book, I didn't super like her, but there was just something about the fact to me that the narrator always sounded half scared, like she never lost the urgency in her voice, and the fact that this was coupled with me listening to it not on like a single speed, but like 1.2 or 1.4 times speed, which is as fast as I can go, and it just set off something in my anxiety, I think, that was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And it just really, really couldn't, like, it just latched onto me emotionally. And that was not the experience that I had with this, because without that emotional connection to the reader, the flaws just stuck out so much more to me. And so I really thought about this long and hard for a long time, because I wanted to do a review of this book. And if you had asked me right after I finished it, I would have been like, oh my god, this is so good, this is so amazing. And then after I sat down and thought about it, I was like, oh my god, there's so many things wrong with this book. There's so many things wrong. So yeah, that's my very weird, also pseudo review of The Doubt Factory by Paulo Bacigalupi. But it's more of a question of, have you found that audiobooks can sometimes cover up mistakes in books, or are there books that you've enjoyed on audio that you never would have enjoyed reading them? Because again, until this moment, I only had the reverse experience, where there are books I tried to listen to on audio and I couldn't get through them, and I knew that I would have to read them in print, or books that I've liked both in print and in audio. I mean, some of them I guess I just don't know because I never saw the print version, but I've read 91 books, guys. Like, a lot of those have been half audio, half print, so at this point I have a large pool that I'm drawing from here. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever found that to be an experience that you've had. Tell me if you've read The Doubt Factory, how you read The Doubt Factory, what your reaction to it was, because again, I'm trapped in this thing where I'm like, oh my god, I really, really love that audiobook, but I don't know how I feel about the book. So let me know down in the comments any thoughts and feelings that you have, and I'm gonna try and actually have some videos in the next couple of weeks coming up. So yeah, thanks guys, bye.